started.
Okay.
All right, holler out if you have any questions, okay?
Okay.
All right. So first off, to create a transaction, once you log in either on your dashboard, then go down to transactions on the left-hand side. It'll show transactions that you have in this list. Because I'm admin, I see everybody's, so you won't see all of that. But you just look for the red bar that says create transaction. Once you click that bar, this window is going to pop up, and you're going to select what type of transaction it is. Default starts at consultation. That is what you use if you start working with a new buyer. All right, and there's a little drop down next to it, which gives you the option of listing, if you're working with a seller doing a listing. Purchase is for a consultation once you have a ratified contract. You can simply change what type of transaction it is. Okay. Property management you wouldn't use. Outgoing referral is if you are sending a referral to another agent and receiving a referral fee. Finder's fee is for those rentals. If you show someone a rental and you're to receive a finder's fee. And then commercials for commercial agents only. And if you want to practice in brokerment, just classify it as a training. That way we know that it is a training and won't expect it to amount to anything. If you do trainings, when you're done with them, if you let us know, we can cancel them out of the system. So for today, I'm going to do consultation, and the status here is listing. Listing means active. You're actively working on it. If it's a listing, then you're going to start out with pre-listing until it's active in the MLS. Then it will become listing. Once you have a ratified contract for a buyer or a listing, it goes pending. All right, so starting off, I'm going to do consultation and listing. Obviously, I don't have an address when I first start working with a buyer, so you're going to fill in only the required pink shaded fields to get started with the transaction. So you just put in a name is what I do so that I can identify it. Anywhere that's required, you do have to put something in the box. If you don't have that information, simply put a period if it wants data. If it wants money, you put a 0. All right. Additional fields you have to put down. So anything that's not highlighted in pink, you do not have to fill out at the beginning. As you go through the transaction, you will change and update this information, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just going to kind of go along real quick and tab through and enter all the stuff that is required. What did I want to do today? There we go. Okay. One more. Okay. So once you've filled in everything that's required, you're going to simply hit next. Now it's asking about the agent commissions. We only record our portion of the commission. So if you're working with a buyer, it's going to be on the buyer's side of our firm. Standard commission is 3%. So you can put a 3 here, and then we would update it once we get the actual ratified contract based on what they are paying. You do have to select which side you're working on. So if it's a listing, you're on the listing side. Buying side is pretty much everything else. And then you're going to pick our firm, save 3%. Over here, add agent and commission. So you're going to add an agent. So then you just click right here and start typing your name. Once you see your name, just click on it. It'll default to the commission plan, which I update as that changes. So like if you're 80-20 and you cap, I'll change it to 100% when that happens. And then you simply hit next. Now it's going to show you everyone that's already attached to this transaction, which is me as your business office manager, Lucy as your compliance broker, Thomasina as your team leader, managing broker, Cindy Hawks is a broker, and the office administrator, which is Blake. Then you're going to come right here and you're going to hit add contact. This is where you're going to add your buyers or sellers. And since I'm doing a buyer and I'm representing Mickey Mouse, he's a really good buyer for me. And I'm only working with one. If you have more than one, you're going to add them. When you add a new one that's not a name that's not in here, I'll just start and show you. So if you've never worked with them before and their name does not pop up in the list, you're going to have to hit create new. You do have to put in their first name, last name, and a valid email address. We do ask that you put in a mobile phone number so that if for some reason there's an emergency and Thomasina as your broker needs to reach out to them, we have a way to reach them. So, but I'm just going to do the one and then you're going to hit create. All right. So now you've created the transaction in Brokerment and you'll see all this information here in these gray boxes is what we filled out at the beginning. All this information you can change. You simply go over here to edit again, and any information here you can change and update. So when you go to write an offer on a property, you can put in the property address and so on. Okay, so then once you've created the transaction, you add checklist. Checklist has a link to the documents you're going to be using and how you turn them in. So over here on the black bar on the left, where it says checklist, you're going to hit the add button. And buyer consult represented is the first one, but you have a drop down. So as you're going through the transaction, you can pull the different ones that you need. All right. And then you simply hit add. On this checklist, it's going to have certain tasks assigned to you as the agent to upload and add as needed. If you're representing an LLC or a business in the purchase, you do have to upload their documents. At any time, if you have a question about a document, what is the document? What do you need to do with it? Lucy is your go-to person first, unless you have a mentor. If you're working with a mentor, you always go to your mentor first. All right. And then to get the forms you're going to fill out, you're going to use a signing packet. All right. All the spots here is when you need to pull an individual form or the placeholder once you split the packet. All right. So we're going to do a packet right now. We're going to hit use forms and it brings up all the required documents for a buyer representation. Your right to represent, CDIF, summary of rights, cybersecurity, buyer escrow, title ABA disclosure, and the lead brochure. All these are required to have signed prior to showing a buyer property. You simply hit next. It's going to come up. Here's Mickey Mouse is my buyer. It needs to know who my buyer's agent is. So if it doesn't have you, put you there. I don't have a second buyer. So I'm just removing that second buyer. Now, if you do a signing order, it's going to send it to Mickey Mouse first. And after he signs it, then it's going to send it to the agent. Or if you want to sign it first, you simply move you in the first position. When you do signing order, it's only going to go to the next person after the first person has signed. If you don't, it sends to both people or all of them at the same time. All right. And then you just simply hit next. All right. All your documents are going to pop up. A lot of things will pre-populate. If they do not, then you're going to have to type them in. So you simply scroll down through the documents looking for the fields that you need to complete. This is the end date of this brokerage agreement. You double click it so it turns white. it pops up a calendar. If I want to represent them until October 31st, I simply add that date. Okay. So then you're going to scroll down and you need to make sure that you understand this document and that you go over it with them. Initial boxes always say AB. It's not the person's initials, but they're color coded. This orangey color says it's assigned to buyer 1. So everywhere there's an orangey color box is going to be filled or signed, initialed by buyer 1. All right, you're simply going to go down, make sure they're aware of the $4.50 admin fee. Initials. And keep going. Now, when you get to page 3 at the bottom, we need to know if your buyer is licensed agent in Virginia or not a licensed agent. You'll see an initial box sitting right here. You simply click and hold it and drag it to where it needs to be. And Mickey is not a licensed agent. If you had 2 buyers, there would be 2 and they would be different colors. So you would drag them accordingly. And you're going to come down. Keep going. Now you're on the last page. Here's the signature for Mickey. It's filled in his name. You can double click and add a phone number here. Where this address box is, that would be their current home address. This is assigned for Mickey to fill out, but if you know that information and you want to fill it out, you can actually change it simply clicking on it. When the box pops up, select fill now, and now you can type that information in. This bluish purple is assigned to buyer's agent. And then here's the spot for your license number. Everyone should have a laminated pocket license. Whenever you renew your license, they mail us a copy and we create that pocket license for you. So make sure you have that handy so that you can input that number. All right, and then you're going to scroll down. Next one is the CDIF disclosure. It simply has initial boxes, bottom right corner. So you just scroll through, just double check and make sure that all the initial boxes are there, assigned to the right people. And then you'll get to the signature page. Again, you'll just verify that the names are correct and the colors match. Then your summary of rights, or chapter 7 as people call it, same thing. Check for your signature and initial boxes. Cybersecurity. All right, this one happens to be missing the signature and printed name and date box. So occasionally this happens when they're updating forms and we have to let them know. Anytime you find something like this on a form, always let me know so I can correct it. So we're going to add them. So Mickey needs to sign here. This is already assigned to Mickey. But we're just going to add his signature box. We're going to go ahead and pull the date and time box here. Put that there. And then we need a printed name. So we're going to pull a text box. And I'm going to reassign it to Phil now. So I can go ahead and type his name in. Okay, so that one's good to go. Anytime you use one of these icons at the top, it turns red when you've turned it on. And everywhere you click, it will add a text box. If you get one by mistake, click the trash can, but make sure you turn it off. Oops, went too fast. Okay, escrow agency. This is the person that will be closing the buyer's side of the purchase. Our default is Jones, Walker, and Lake. They are our preferred. They are attorneys, so they automatically have attorney representation. If your buyer already has someone that they want to use, you simply click, highlight it, backspace, change the information. Just make sure that you're putting the company name here, the contact person and the phone number to reach that contact person. All right, your ABA business disclosure, this lets them know that we have Tomahawk Title for title searches and that the firm does make money from that. In this box here, you're simply going to double click. If you're only showing them one property, you can put the property address, but if you're going to be showing multiple properties to be determined, you don't know what property they're going to be buying. So to be determined is acceptable here. Keep going. They're going to sign there. Lead brochure is 20 pages. So we have a signature box at the top on page 1. We are required to give this to every buyer prior to them purchasing a property, even if they choose not to buy one that needs the lead. We just disclose it automatically. So once you get here, this is the last thing you need to look at, and you're good to go. If you need to gather information and come back, hit save and close. Maybe you couldn't find that pocket card and you need to look up your license number. If you do that, then you simply come back here to edit e-sign. It's going to go back through the steps again. It's going to bring up all your documents. Go to wherever you need to make the correction. When you're ready to send it, you hit the drop-down box next to save and close, and you hit send for e-signature. It's going to show you that it's sending to these people. This is a generic field that will automatically put in their information and who's requesting them to sign these documents. And then you simply hit send. Okay. Once it sends it, then you're going to come over here and you're going to see where it is sent. And you can track the history of it. All right. Once they sign it, it will change and say signed, and you'll get an email notification. All right. Now, once it is signed, then you need to split it and submit it for review. So for all practical purposes, we're going to say this one has been signed. You simply go over here to the right to this unassigned button. Once you click the unassigned button, you go back to the left-hand side in the black bar and click the word that says documents. Then you're going to click unsorted. Here's your packet. You click on the packet so it's highlighted. You go over to the right and you're going to hit edit and split. Once it loads the documents, you simply look at each document that you have. So your first one is your exclusive right to represent. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that it's 5 pages. So here you're going to put 1 to 5. And then start typing the name and watch for it to pop up here. By selecting it here, it's going to automatically put it on the checklist where it belongs. Number 6 is the CDIF. And that is how many pages? I want to say 7. Oh, 7. So I think it goes to 12. Let's see. Yep, 6 to 12. And then the summary of rights is 3 pages. Just arrow down to 15. Oops. If you mess up like I just did, just hit the X and start typing the name again. All right, let's see which one's next. Cyber. So I know that's a 1 page. I'm going to do escrow agency. Then I need one more line for my lead. All right, so this is telling me it's a total of 38 pages. If it was actually signed, there would be a signature authority page and it would say 39. You don't include that last page. So I always go scroll all the way down and verify the last page of my document to delete those off. So 19 to 38, and this is lead-based paint pamphlets. And then you're simply going to hit the split button. Okay, it will keep the original packet here, so you can always go back if you've gotten off on your page numbers. And you'll see right here that it has uploaded and put a line through, so all those documents are now in the proper place. And the next step is to submit it for review. Go up to the red action button, drop down, submit for review. You're about to submit this transaction for review, confirm. Now they all say pending approval. Now Lucy's going to start looking at them and hopefully approve them. If there's anything wrong, she will reject it and it'll turn a reddish pink color and there'll be a comment. So you always go over here and read what Lucy has put in here of what you need to do to correct this document. Okay. Now, once you've done this part, you are ready to start showing them property. When you're ready to write offers, you need to come back in here and add a checklist. So the checklist you're going to add is going to be Purchase General. And you're going to hit add. Now, prior to pulling this contract packet, you need to edit the information in this transaction so it fills that information in. So now you're going to come in here and you're going to put the property information. Everything you put in here is what's going to start populating on the contract for you. All right. And you don't have a listing, but you want to put down the closing date you're going to ask for. So I'm going to ask for June 15th. Then you're going to come in here and you're going to fill in all these things. Is there a referral / split on this transaction? If it's no, it's no. That means you're not splitting it with anybody else other than the company. If you're working with a mentor, it's going to be mentor 50-50. If you're working with another agent in the office, then it's an in-office referral. It's a referral that you have received from a Tomahawk agent, which is our referral company. You're going to select that one. If it's from another company, agent outside, not any part of our companies, it's an out-of-office referral. It's Op City Ojo, any of those, you're going to select those. So I'm going to say that it's a referral from a Tomahawk. List firm, RAIN number, you'll get that from the listing, the MLS number, area, all those different things. Then you're going to come down here. You're going to put in who's going to be the escrow agent. Who is going to be holding that money, because we do not hold escrow. How much is the EMD? Our selling firm ID number is 9274. Purchase offer date is today. Mortgage company. When you get to mortgage company, you're going to put in the name. Okay. If it's a cash buyer, you can just put none, NA, anything like that. Commission basis is what you're going to calculate if you're buying, the purchase is a property and it's $300,000. 3% commission is $9,000. If there's no outside referral, commission basis is $9,000. If there is a referral outside of our company, you subtract that amount of the referral from the $9,000. So I'm going to say that I'm giving that person $1,000. So I'm going to put $8,000 here. That's how much the company is going to have that I would be splitting with me as the agent and the company. All right, North Carolina transaction, no. What closing company are you going to use? And this is going to be Jones Walker and Lake again, because we are representing the buyer. If you are representing a seller, this is going to be the buyer's escrow agent who's holding the EMD, and this is going to be the seller's settlement company. Then you're simply going to hit save. Oh, thank you. Now that all this information has been updated, you're ready to work on the contract packet. Before you do the contract packet, make sure you download the disclosures from the listing, the DPOR, the ACUs, the lead if they have it, anything that's on the listing. So make sure you have those downloaded. So then you're going to hit use forms. And here's our standard purchase agreement, your property inspection or PICA, brokerage fee, request for property owner's disclosure packet, and here's the one for the condominium. We've added them here for your convenience. Not all transactions need them. If it is not a condo and you don't need it, simply hit the X and take it off. If it's not a POA, hit the X and take it off. If it is, you leave it there. Then you're going to attach a document here. And this is where you're going to add the disclosures that you downloaded. Let me see if I can find one. Nope. Nope. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw a document in there. It's not going to be it, but just so I can show you. Okay, so then once you upload those disclosures, they become part of the packet. So when you send it off to get signed, you're only sending one packet instead of multiple emails with multiple different forms. Then you're going to hit next. Again, you're going to make sure all the people are here that are going to be signing. All right, I don't have a buyer two to sign, so I'm going to delete. I don't have a listing agent signing, so you just drop these people off. And next. Then once it pulls up your forms, you're simply going to start going through and you're going to fill in anything that did not auto-populate. And then you're going to start typing in information of the sellers, you know, the listing firm. And you're going to carefully go through and make sure that you are completing all of these fields. Pay special attention to areas where you have to type in amounts. So you have to type in the dollar amount written out and the amount. You do have check boxes. How are they paying this EMD? Jones Walker and Lake and a lot of attorneys now have an app, so it's Automated Clearinghouse or ACH. And you also want to make sure that you're saying how it's going to be paid. If they've already paid a deposit to the escrow agent that has been held, then you can click here. Majority of the time, it's within 2 days of ratification. So make sure you fill this in and who is holding it. The company. So if you're dealing with Susan Walker at Jones Walker and Lake, you're not putting Susan Walker, you're putting Jones Walker and Lake. All right, and then you're gonna come down here. Here's your price. You're gonna make sure to fill in here and the written out amount. Any information here, if it's by cash, you're gonna put down $300,000 here by cash. And then you're gonna keep going. Make sure all your initial boxes, signature boxes are in the appropriate places. Same thing, you're gonna go through here, you're gonna fill in everything, pay attention to all your check boxes. Those are easy to miss. And you're just gonna keep going through. We're just gonna kind of skip through all these to get to. All right, so then when you get to a disclosure that you've uploaded, you're going to have to add all your signature, initial, and text boxes. So just, go through, use the different fields that you need and add them. Okay. Once you have them all done, you're ready to send it off. And then you'll send for e-signature. All right. So once that's done, all right. So once this is all completed and signed, then your offer is ready to send to the listing agent. When you go here to the download, it should prompt you if you send it for e-signature and it has those signature pages at the end to download it without it. Just make sure when you're downloading this packet is 22 pages. See where it says it right here, 22 pages. Once it's been signed, it will be 23 pages, possibly 24, depending on how many people signed. You need to make sure to delete those off. You do not want to send that to the other side as it has your buyer's name and email address. All right. Then you're going to send it to the other agent. Best practice that I teach is once it's done here and you're going to be sending it off, you want to move it from this spot. So you're going to hit unassign. Go over to documents, unsorted, and here's your contract packet. Occasionally you will have to write more than one offer before you get a ratified contract. So if you come over here to this edit button and you rename it, you can rename this one offer 110 South Street. Now, this is the offer for 110 South Street that you've sent to the other agent. If the agent sends it back as a counter, you're going to upload it here. Make your adjustments to it by doing an e-sign. And then you would either ratify it or send it back. If it comes back to you as a ratified contract, you're simply going to put it here again. Make sure to name it so you know which one is which, and then it's ready to be split and put in the purchase general checklist. All right, so you're just going to keep housing them here. You have to write another offer. You're going to come up here to edit, and you're going to change all this information for the new offer. And again, you would pop it down here. All right, now, once you start receiving documents, if they come to you as PDF in an email, you simply come right here and grab this where it says add via email, copy to clipboard. Then you can actually go to your email, paste this in the email you're sending to, and send it, and it will automatically put it here in the unsorted. So you don't have to print anything, scan anything. You really don't have to download it if you receive it as a PDF. Once you've negotiated, it's become a ratified contract, make sure you come back to this spot and edit anything that has changed. If you negotiated the price and the price has changed, you want to change the price. You change the closing date, you're going to change the closing date. Obviously, if you change the price, that changes the commission basis, the total commission that you're receiving. Do you want to update those? All right. We will come in and change it over to pending. You can if you want to, that is perfectly fine. You simply come here to switch to pending. If you're missing something, it's going to pop up and you have to fill it in prior to. This is a cash offer. And it goes to pending. Now, since this is pending, this is no longer a consultation. So you simply change it to a purchase. Let's say. Okay. So at this point, your next steps, you're going to be starting to do your inspections. You do need a few additional checklists for that. So you're going to add your checklist. You're going to click the little drop down. And since you're doing a home inspection, you need to add PICRA contingency due diligence. Click here. If you have condo or POA docs, you're going to come down here and you're going to add purchase POA, and you're going to add. All right. Your PICRA checklist here is going to have a place for you to upload all the different items that you're going to be getting during this transaction. Your termite inspection report, your termite invoice, your home inspection report, home warranty if you're doing one, PICRA repair receipts, appraisal repair receipts, survey if it's ordered, appraisal if available. Anytime you need to add additional placeholders here, other documents, you go to the action, drop down, add a task, you're going to name it. So maybe they had to do a roof repair. Right, so PA, I could spell. And you're going to assign it to yourself. And check this little box right here, requires a document. Now I have a place to upload that roof repair. You want to put all these documents here. That way you have them to send to the lender, closing entity, next year when the buyer's doing their taxes and they need all this stuff and they reach out to you, you have it all right here. Most importantly, the PICRA removal addendum, you need to make sure that that goes in here when it's signed and ratified. It must be submitted. We need to know when the MLS should be updated by us if it's our listing or the other side. RAIN does do fines if things are not updated in a timely manner, and we want to avoid all fines for our agents and other agents at other firms. So make sure you're putting them here and you're submitting them. Purchase POA or condo, same thing. Here's a place for all your different receipts. And then there is a buyer's receipt of resale package. That is also very important to make sure that is turned in. Once their 3 days starts ticking and 3 days have passed, then that contingency needs to be removed from the MLS, and that's technically when it usually is changed over to pending. So make sure you're getting these in here on time and submitted. The last checklist that would go on here would be the closing checklist. I usually add those when I'm processing and updating everything in our systems. This is where you're going to be getting all your final documents and in the home stretch to getting paid. You should be asking for the pre-closing disclosure to verify that all the amounts are right, that the commission that's being received by the company is correct, and that they do have the $450 admin fee on there. If it is a VA loan and they decline and say it cannot be on there, then you just simply need something showing that it was declined. Otherwise, if it is not on the settlement statement because it was missed or the document was not sent to the settlement company, it becomes the responsibility of the agent. And I don't know about you, but I really don't want to have to pay $450. So try to make sure that you get that pre-closing disclosure and verify that is on there. Walkthrough. We require a walkthrough. In the event that the buyer waives it, you still do the walkthrough form and put on there that they waived it and have them sign it. We do like to have the other side sign it as well. So if you're representing the buyer, once you have it done, please send it to the listing agent asking for their signatures. And do this through email. So you have a copy of your email request. If you don't receive it back, follow up with another email asking if you can get it. If they never send it to you, you just simply provide that information to Lucy and she will approve this document. If you are on the listing side, you're going to ask the buyer side to supply you a copy and get your sellers to sign it. Same thing, do it in email so you have an email chain. You need to request it at least 2 times for Lucy to clear it to pay without the other side signing. Is this transaction complete and clear to pay for Lucy? Never touch this one. This is for Lucy. This is where she's going to write notes over here on the right of what you're missing to be clear to pay, or she's going to put yes, clear to pay, and she's going to check that little box off. Final closing statement is once it is closed and the buyers and sellers have signed. If you have a copy of that, you can upload it here. If not, I generally do receive copies of them when I receive the commission. Once we receive the commission, then I will start working on the DA. The DA is a document that shows how much of the commission came in and how it was split and how much you are getting paid. And it will be sent to you for signature. When wires come into our bank account, they usually come in late in the afternoon, so they do not clear. It only shows me that I have a pending wire. So I cannot process it until the following day when it clears and it shows me who it's from, how much it is, and what it's for. Then once I process and send it for signature, if you are clear to pay by Lucy, I will send out your payment that day once you have signed the DA. If it's too late in the afternoon, the payment won't go out until the next morning. If you are not clear to pay, I will still send you your DA for signature, but I cannot send your payment until Lucy clears you to pay. At any time, if you want to know prior to closing or the day it closes, if you're cleared to pay from Lucy, you simply come back over here on the black bar on the left-hand side to users and contacts. And you're going to come up here to the drop-down action button and you're going to hit send email. You're going to come here and you're going to pick Lucy. Then if you go over on the right to use template, second one down, agent checking compliance for clear to pay. That's all you have to do. This generic email will tell Lucy which transaction, everything. You hit send. And it sends Lucy an email asking her to review your file. And then you'll give her at least 24 hours and then come back here and see what she's saying. If she's telling you you have items that need to be corrected and fixed, please get them done as quickly as possible. If you don't understand or need help, reach out to your mentor first. You can ask Lucy for clarification, or you can ask Blake or myself for help on how to do something in Brokerment. We can't tell you what to do or what verbiage to use, but we can show you how to do it in Brokerment. And that would be everything you need to do for a purchase. Any questions?
No,
Okay,
no,
that's good.
not
All
yet.
right.
Anyway.
Not yet. Well, it's a lot to learn and retain. It's just you learn as you go along, and each situation may be a little different.
Mhm.
So whenever you do have a transaction, if you feel like you want help going through doing it, you can always schedule a time with me. I can do it over the phone and walk you through the steps and getting the documents in, or you can come to the office and we can sit together and do it.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
it so much easier to do an actual transaction. And I have some agents that still come in and they sit at the table and I help them. And when they get to a stumbling block and when they're going along good, I go do my work and then they call me out when they need help again. So
Okay.
always reach out, like I said, to your mentor or Lucy or me or Blake if you need help. We never want you to struggle and kick the dog. You know,
Okay.
help you, but we don't know you need help unless you reach out to us.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So okay. Well, if you don't have any questions, we'll wrap it up and call it a day.
All right.
All
All
right.
right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for attending.
Okay. Have a
Alrighty,
good
bye.
day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.